Well, I'm not sure John is going to be able to make stand up this morning. I think he's on a flight, and I'm not sure about Danny either. Jerry, do you want to help lead?
Yeah, give me 1 sec. I'm putting my AirPods in. My microphone's giving me issues again. Let's see.
No problem.
All right. You can hear me now?
Perfect.
Cool. All right. Yeah, hope everyone had a good holiday. We're back going. So
Yeah.
Amit, you wanna start us off?
Yes, Jerry. So first thing I looked into the Sentry issue. I did not find any major issue which I need to work. Though then I continue working on writing the server test cases. So today I cover mutation inside the chat module like create message v2, edit message, create DM. So I
Uh-huh.
will commit.
Oh, you there? I think I lost you.
So can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. What's up?
So yeah, I work on writing those test cases, Jerry. So let
Okay.
me commit this code there. If there is
Okay.
anything in your mind, I can take.
Yeah, could you look at that midnight thing again? It looks like it may have happened
Hmm?
again. Was it last night where the outage happens at around midnight UTC?
Okay.
Yeah. Could you check into that again? If you
Yeah,
go
I
to
will check.
Sentry and you go to uptime, it
Hmm?
looks like that we had one of those events at the
Uh,
same midnight time.
Sentry and uptime you should told me, right?
Yeah.
Hmm. Okay. Yeah, I'll check, Jerry. Hmm.
Mhm. Okay. Um. Okay. Anything else?
No, Jerry.
Okay. Um, cool. Thanks. I'll go next. My updates are. I know we took a half day Friday. I don't have any updates on a Friday, Wednesday. I don't have much updates from Wednesday. Basically, just monitoring how everything is going. However, I did talk with John when I last spoke with him, and his main goal is we need to make and I think he reiterated this uh, Wednesday, is that we need to go through everything with the new architecture. And what I plan on doing is, Ismail, the reason I asked you if this new 15 build was on the new architecture was I'm just going to take screen recordings of onboarding on a old architecture and a new architecture build, and I'm just going to splice the videos together. I'm going to do them side by. I want to build a video. We're going to do it side by side, and I'm going to go frame by frame, and we're going to do an identical onboarding, and we're going to compare and see where they differ at a frame by frame level. So, in order to do this, Ismail, I want the newest build with the new architecture, and then we can do the newest build with the old architecture. And I'll go through these flows, and I'll create the videos myself. I'll splice them together, and that way I'll post them in development, or maybe YouTube would be better as an unlisted video. That way we can just kind of really look at all these things like on a frame by frame level, new old side by side, and see what the differences are. And we can take it, and then now we know, um, at least from these areas that we test, what needs to be improved, because I know it sounds like there's a lot that still needs to be improved on before we go up with the new architecture. Is that right?
Yeah, there's quite a bit of things, but yeah, that's a good idea. I mean, as of right now, I there's a few things that I have my eye on. I was actually, when I was gonna give my update, I was gonna say what I was gonna mention the text I was working on. I was gonna mention next. I wanted to actually work on onboarding, so it's funny that you mentioned it now, because I noticed. Yeah, there's two main problems. One is the lotties; they're not playing smoothly. And then
Hmm.
the other one is the animations; they're also not playing
Hmm.
smoothly. So
Hmm.
like the reanimated stuff. So those, yeah, there's frame drops. There's uh, jankiness. and some of it is, well, yeah, and the tricky part about the lot, like I think I know why the lotties at least are not playing, because we're using software, and I think if we use the hardware, the new architecture just works so much better. But not all the lotties work on the hardware. That means it uses the phone GPU to play these lotties. So to fix that, we need to remake these lotties essentially, and that would be the best solution I would recommend. Is a lot of these heavy lotties, we remake them because they're like 1 or 2 megabytes. They can be just a few kilobytes if they're done properly, like 100 kilobytes instead of 2 or 3 megabytes, which would be and then they would work on the hardware if the architecture is, if they use a new architecture to create the lottie, not the React Native architecture, the new lottie architecture. I think they were talking about it once in the past, a while back. So um yeah, so just a heads up, some of that I'm limited to what I can do unless I get the new lottie file.
Okay. Have you worked with Brian or Amin? I think you might have worked with Brian before.
I know Brian.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. If we really think it's Lottie, I think we should at least try to get one of the Lotties redone, and just see if that's the difference maker. Do we take the
Yeah. The thing is, normally John would speak to him directly.
right?
It's just
But
that we never. And I don't know if it's okay for me to do that. Yeah, go ahead. I mean,
Yeah, I was gonna say the same. It was like for me, it was John because like John's
mhm,
knows the Latvia like exact. Even like Brian misses some details about like the Latvies, and
mhm,
John's keep reminding him. And the point that I want to add, like for when Brian's gonna remake those Latvies, I know like he's using Adobe After Effects, but like if we can make Brian remake these new Latvies with Laffy editor, like from Laffy itself, it would be better because with Adobe, there's still some features there that are not supported with the new Laffy version, and this still causes like performance issues. But if the Laffy is a remake with the Laffy tools, it's gonna be optimized by
mhm.
default.
Got it. Okay, so yeah, I don't think we should be reaching out to Brian directly either. I think we need to go through John on this first. But I mean, do you feel more like out of Amin and Ismail, which of you feel more confident in who can explain to John better of what should be done with these lotties?
I
And
think
could
he already knows what needs to be done. He just was holding it off.
mm,
But I think he's fully aware of the situation, if I'm not mistaken. Because me and Amin both explained it to him a
how
while back,
recently?
actually.
Yeah,
Okay, a
yeah,
while back. Look, I mean, I know John's mind been in a lot of places with everything that we're kind of going through for the past few weeks. I think it's worth kind of reminding him and seeing if there's a smaller approach that we can take just to kind of prove that this would fix our issue. Because I think the lotties and the animations, I think make up a lot of the quote jankiness that he's been seeing. So
Yeah. And like I said, I know a solution is we need to run it on the hardware with this new architecture, and that makes
Mhm,
them play smooth. It's just specific lobbies don't play at all. Like for example, that welcome lobby.
mhm,
So like you know how you have a welcome, then you have the globe one. They're right after each other. So if I
mhm,
run the whole thing on hardware, the welcome one doesn't show anything. It doesn't render anything. It doesn't work. And then the
mhm,
globe one comes after, and the globe one is smooth after, even though the globe one used to be janky as well. Like they both used to be janky.
mhm,
So that
mhm,
means that the globe one works with the running it on the hardware, but the other one doesn't. But even though it works, I think in general our lotties, the old ones especially the file that says big lotties, these are no bueno. Like these are too big. They're too heavy.
mhm,
They're gonna cause performance issues. But so I would recommend for now everything is running on software because so that it can run. Um, but I want to manually switch things to hardware until we can have everything switched over to hardware. So
mhm,
what I would recommend, in my opinion, just redo all of these onboarding lotties. And I don't know if they have to redo them from scratch or if they can just convert them. I'm not sure how that works. Because I think if they're gonna redo them from scratch, it's gonna take a while. But if they just need to like, if there's a tool to like convert it or something, then it might be a whole lot easier. Um, so if there is a tool to convert it, I would highly, or if it's not too hard to recreate them, if it's not like doing it from scratch, I would recommend doing all of onboarding, switching it to the what I mean was saying using that new tool, the optimized one that works with the hardware feature. Therefore, you would that would increase app load speed, that would increase performance. You'd have a much smoother onboarding experience overall because it's very lottie heavy.
Okay. I mean, you got something?
Yeah, about conversion. Conversion here might be confusion. Might introduce some confusion because we can convert the lattice we have from the JSON format to dot lattice format, but that doesn't guarantee the lattice is gonna be smooth. It just the lattice file size is reduced, but
Mhm.
like the JSON, because Lottie is just a JSON of arrays of animation that's
Mhm.
translated animation. It's gonna be the same features. So
But
and some
does the Lafari but is dot Lottie even supported? I mean, sorry,
yeah, it
like,
is yeah, it is supported with the new version.
are you sure? Because I converted one to a dot Lottie and I tried to use it. It didn't necessarily work. Um,
Maybe
maybe.
something miss. Like I worked on this. There's some changes we have to do on our side. I remember. I'm not sure if those changes we still have to do them or they are fixed. But like when I worked on this,
Hmm.
uh, you have to we do have to do something changes. One of the changes is like I'm sure you faced it before. It's like you have to specify the height and width, like because like
Oh yeah, so you have to go back to the old method, or wait, you mean? Well, I mean, don't we already do that with
I don't
with
know
the
with the JSON. So
Yeah, yeah. Like with the well, after we updated React Native Lottie file or library, after we updated the library, we were forced to give the height and yeah, we were forced to give the height and width, like even if it was a JSON. Were we not? Remember that problem we had?
let me check the code real quick right now because I don't remember we did it.
Yeah, because I remember we did like the what's it called? What did
Oh yeah,
we
yeah,
we
it is.
we found like a formula. What's it called? The aspect ratio or something like that.
Yeah, it is. It is. It is.
Yeah.
Let's just check the code right now. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but 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 you're saying if we if we convert it to Dalali, that doesn't necessarily mean we'll get a performance boost.
Yeah, it's only means we're gonna gain upstart like the upload start boost because the size it's reduced.
Mm-hmm.
It, in the end, that a lot is it's a zip file. It's just compressed
I see.
JSON, and but like the content of the JSON is the same. Like let's say feature A there's like features I forgot the name, but like let's say feature A, it's gonna be still there, and it's still gonna perform poorly on the new architecture. So
Mm,
it's we need to remake it in a way we're not gonna use that feature. You know.
I see. I see. Well, that might be more work than it sounds like
Mhm.
then to get it.
Well, that's the reason why we need to pick like the ones we actually need to do this for.
Yeah, yeah. Then maybe we don't do all of onboarding if it needs to be redone from scratch. Maybe we just do it on the ones that don't work. Because with the new architecture, either it works smoothly or it doesn't work at all. Sorry, with the if you use hardware, so like either the lottie plays smoothly or it just doesn't play at all. So we need to find the ones that are either not playing or sometimes they're missing things. Like the lottie would be missing some animations or stuff. So, but yeah, honestly, I think that's our best solution to get this done properly, Jerry, is to remake, if not all, some of the lotties.
Okay. Um, yeah, with that said, I think we need to um, put it back at the top of John's mind, um, especially if y'all saying it's been a while. It
Yeah,
just
he'll probably remember right away when you if I don't know if you want to bring it up or me, I should bring it up.
No,
But
I think yeah, I think maybe I should bring that to his attention. Just say we talked about it and stand up.
yeah, and tell him it's pretty much the only approach to get smooth lotties with the new
Mhm.
architecture. Like we have
Yeah.
to do it. It's not a oh, it's a nice to have.
Yes. So yeah, Ismail, do you want to be the one to let John know? Like, just kind of bump it. I mean, yeah, he'll remember it, but and just in case he has any follow ups, then you could answer it for him.
Yeah, I'll send him a detailed message on Slack explaining real quick what we discussed so that he can take his decision based off of that.
Hmm. Okay. Yeah, let's do that. Now, okay, yeah. Going forward, do we have anything else about the Lotties to discuss before we move on?
Um, one more thing. Well, I guess this one is nice, nice to have. I guess since we're talking about lotties, we can use links now instead of having them stored
Hmm. Okay,
on.
yeah, the remote Lotties, yeah.
Yeah. So if we also want to set that up, um, we can start doing it. Incremental. Like we don't have to do it all at once. We can just pick and choose. So we can
Hmm.
slowly start converting all our lotties. Um,
So my concern with that is with the Lotties being remotely served is that they'll have to be downloaded
mhm.
or just at some point. Um, yeah, they're
Yeah.
gonna have to be downloaded. What John is wanting is John is like not we're trying to not have any trade offs going with the new architecture. That
Mm,
we don't want to go back to what he's calling jank
yeah. Yeah.
after polishing the old architecture.
Well, it won't be janky, but the way I think of these remote ones is for stuff like onboarding that's like highly important. We just keep the file downloaded. But for example, badges and other things that are conditional, we can have them be remotely loaded so that the app size when you download it, it's a lot less.
Hmm. Yeah, it's just having to download them and what kind of connection the person might have at
Yeah,
that time.
well, if they're optimized properly, the file size should be fairly small. And
Hmm.
if we can get the dot lottie to work, like if we can get it optimized and it's converted to dot lottie, it's like it's literally 130
Hmm.
kilobytes for a big lottie, which is like
Yeah.
an image.
Well, not even file size is kind of what my concern is. It's just having to access a remote server because, like, there are times like when we ping Google, for example,
I see what you
there's
mean.
there's no data that we're actually downloading, but still sometimes that ping might take a couple seconds.
Yeah, yeah. Again, that's why I
Mhm.
say this is not for we won't use this, for example, for lotties that load every time you open the app or onboarding. These are more like conditional. Again, this is just a
Yeah,
nice to
like
have since we're
the badges I feel would be good for that.
that's it. That was
Uh,
exactly what I was thinking about. Like, yeah,
Badges,
badges,
level up.
rewards, level up, yeah, all
Yeah.
that stuff. That's very, very conditional. It's just
Hmm.
it could be that could be a very good use case for it. But again, this is a nice to have. It's not. I just wanted to bring it up to make us your attention. It's since we were just talking about lotties, but we don't have to worry
Hmm.
about it now.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Okay. So I think that wraps up the Lotties. Ismail, you'll message John, and that way it's just back at the top of his mind. Um, and John will just reach out to Brian, maybe see if we can get a couple Lotties, make sure they look good with the new format and the changes that you're saying. Um, Now, next topic being the jank. I know. So there are two main things that I know he was talking about. Hold on, make sure that my microphone's going right. Okay, there we go. It's still there. So let's see. So looking at it, I know John was saying something about. I don't know if this was old architecture, new architecture. Like when you were in like the Rad Maggot Army chat, some of the topics were like blinking the images. Do y'all remember that from Wednesday?
Yeah, I think I mean worked on that. You think you said you fixed it? I mean, right?
The blinking on the topic header.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Last time I said, look, I know what's going on, and it's fixed. and yeah, that's will be my stuff that I'm gonna be focusing on. It's gonna be the chat, like precisely like the transition that happens like between any action the user take. Like if you switch in tab, scrolling, go to a chat and back, like all the transition between an action, like I'll be like looking into them to remove all the junk. And yeah, and I follow your idea, Jerry. I have a screen record of the old version and compare it frame to frame with the new
Hmm.
and work on
Hmm.
what's there.
Okay. Yeah. I'll do the recordings. Just send me two builds I can test in the old architecture and the new architecture. That way we just get a state preview of where we're currently at. Could you?
Um,
Yeah,
iOS,
I can send you those versions.
mhm.
Okay. Cool. Um, Sweet. Um, and yeah, various janks. So another thing is for okay, so we did the topics, and another thing was the listen live. So I mean, I think you said it was something to do with the audio player, or who's that? I forget who I messaged on
Yeah,
that. Was it Ismail?
Yeah.
that was me.
Yeah,
Talking about
you
the
USL.
podcast.
Sorry. Yeah. What's that?
You talk about the podcast, right?
Yeah, the podcast player that people were like navigating out of that chat into different chats. Like they were just using circles while the podcast was playing and it was cutting off for them.
Yeah. So I guess I have a question here. So the way the track tracks work in our current setup in chat is that if you're playing a certain track within chat, you can switch between topics no problem. But if you go back to lobby, it does pause it or close
Mm.
that
Okay.
player. Um,
So yeah, what
so I guess first of all, I'm almost certain that that's what's closing the podcast because they use the shared player. Now, what I am not, I guess my question is, do we still want that behavior in chat? Like, is it is it okay for if you leave chat to stop playing whatever chat you are, do we want to keep also do we also want to keep that playing? Because if you do, I can think they'll just make it a little bit easier where I make them both play. Where if not, I'd have to have specific logic for each one.
I would double check with John, but I believe it is in the best interest for at least like the podcast player that we give that priority that it keeps playing while they're in different parts of the app.
Mm. Yeah, yeah. Okay. So yeah, again, and it would work anywhere in the app unless you go to chat and back to lobby. That's the function is called where it just pauses anything that's playing.
Right. And the idea is that they're in the Maggot Army chat. And let's say they leave the Maggot Army chat and they go in the sports talk chat. They don't want their podcast to be interrupted,
Correct.
especially because it is a live podcast.
Correct.
So,
Correct.
yeah.
So yeah, like I said, I just want to know if I should just remove that altogether, like that function, so that but then that would have also anything that's playing within the chat keep playing, which I
So,
don't know if maybe we want that. Maybe that is good because if you're like listening to something and you go to another chat or you get a notification, maybe you don't want it to stop.
mhm.
Um, so
And if you tap the player, like if you tap the player, it navigates you back to that page though, right?
mm,
So like in your operating, so let's say like in that
no,
preview.
the player won't navigate you back to chat. If that's what you're asking.
Oh, I thought it did. That if you like tapped it, it brought you back to that profile. It brought you back to where you could like pause it.
It'll bring you back to the app, but it'll just bring you back to the last
Okay.
screen you were on, I think.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Because I'm pretty sure there's no special logic in terms of figuring out where to take you if you tap the player.
Hmm. Okay. Um. hmm, Okay. Um. I think that's. I think we should keep it playing after you leave the app. And if you're messaging John, like let him know about this. I think he really wanted to see like a production build sent to Apple to fix this today. Because
Yeah,
what?
that wouldn't be part of 15. It would be part of 16.
Okay, yeah. Because hey Todd, do you know if when y'all plan on doing another podcast stream?
We were just talking about it last night. Actually, we don't have a date set, but it's going to be probably within a couple of days. I bet in a few days.
Yeah. So what John is really hoping, Ismail, is that this is done. I think let's give like the podcast player that top priority because that is something that he really wants. I know for sure before this next podcast.
Yeah, I'll have that. I'll have
Mhm.
that done today before anything else.
Okay. Todd, what's your thoughts on this? I know you've been talking to him about this, but does that align pretty well with what you think John wants?
Yes, definitely, for sure, and definitely make priority on the player for sure.
Okay. Um. Cool. Um. All right. So that answers that for the player. What other topics of jank or improvements that we need to make for this new architecture before it's ready for the spotlight that we can remember?
Yeah, I think just reanimated. There's a bunch of reanimated stuff that needs to be looked at. I think Amin found a few problems with chat, which he fixed. And I think there's more in onboarding and probably other places, but it looks like the new architecture and reanimated, there needs to be some optimizations there done.
Yeah,
Hmm.
because um, we're still using the old reanimated version, version 3. There's a new one, 4, which is like it was redone for the new architecture. The thing is, when I tried it the first time, it was like the logical thing to do is like just to update the reanimated 2, but it messes with a lot of our animation just like that. Immediately you will see animations not played as they are, like really bad. I thought it just
Hmm.
well, like after like few days, few weeks, a lot of other people like they were like reporting the same issues, same problems, a lot of like the same thing, and they they did it in a way where like they introduced like feature flags that we can toggle on off depend on the use case, and it will fix those issues that happen um just introduced because of the newer version. I didn't
Mhm.
look into that yet. Maybe we
Hmm.
do that, but I think it's not gonna be easy because like I checked like the blog post where they discussed all the feature flags, and it's a really long one. So yeah, I just wanted to bring this up so we all be on the same page about
And
if we
that's
want,
for the reanimated.
yeah, if we want to update it to the latest.
Mm, okay. Um. And that would just handle like all the animations and stuff, and so that's going to be a big problem, I guess, when it comes to the new architecture, right?
Yeah, like
Mm,
our best safe bet for now is like fix what we have right now.
okay. And
Yeah.
yeah, and I think uh, what it comes down to is when we do that side by side, frame by frame stuff,
Mhm.
we want it to be as close as possible in the end, and then we need to explain. We need to be able to explain why something isn't perfect one to one, if not, and why and what we've done to get there.
And just kind of, Jerry, to like put this in like for like in general, if you see Jenkins is gonna be 90% of the time it's gonna be reanimated or Lotties. Like
That right.
yeah, like if those two are fixed properly, then I would say 90% of our problems would be solved because
Hmm.
they're the moving parts, right? Like, for example, you're not gonna see Jenkins unless, or and the last one is Flash List, I guess. Yeah. So Flash List and Reanimated and Lotties, those are
Hmm.
where you would notice. So any problem with
Hmm.
Jenkins probably will be related to those three.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. Yeah, I know it's all things that I'm just kind of thinking what's going through John's mind. I know those are the things. As far as like logic goes in the app, I think everything's solid. Otherwise, like onboarding works, everything else works. It's just the presentation.
Yeah, and I think we also did a fairly good job in terms of memoizing whatever needs to memorize, using you
Hmm.
use callbacks and so on. And in terms of optimization, I feel like the app is decently optimized. Obviously, there's always room for improvement, but I think it's really well optimized. It's just like I said, yeah, it's gonna be those three things because they've changed, and that's
Hmm.
where we're gonna experience the that jankiness. Um,
Hmm.
but yeah, funny enough. So I just recently got a new phone, so I switched over to the new phone, and I was on iMessage at first it's not in sync. It has like download from the internet. So
Hmm.
like when they're paginating from the internet, not from the local database they have, it's really bad. It's actually it flickers. You see it jumping, and I was like, yeah, we've been there. We've solved that problem. It's just it felt good to have solved that problem. While Apple and their, they don't do it a lot. They probably just do it once because after that they save it on your phone. But when it is paginating from the internet, like we're doing, it's not good on iMessage.
Hmm. I see. Yeah, it makes sense because like it has to re-download everything.
Yeah.
Like it.
So,
Yeah.
so, so technically, it's paginating the way we do. They're
Hmm.
not doing it right because it flickers. You see like it jumping. You see images resizing. It's yeah. It's it's
Yeah.
yeah.
Take a screen recording for that. I know I know John's philosophy on that is as well. They're Apple. People kind of just accept what they do, and Apple's just been a big storm lately of bugs and errors. And we can't say that we're janky because Apple is because
Oh,
Apple
no,
already
no.
has their
I'm just
yeah.
that was just
Mhm.
me. The whole purpose of this is not saying, oh, they're janky, we can't be too.
Mhm.
What I'm actually saying is we've solved that problem that they're having, and I'm
Yeah,
just saying it feels
it
cool
feels
to
good.
have.
Yeah, it feels
Yeah.
good for sure. Yeah, nope, I'm with you. Um, yeah, um, totally. Uh, so would you upgrade it to like a 17?
Yeah, I got it free through switching to a new carrier, so I was like, yeah, might as well.
Wow. Yeah, that's always good. Um, okay. Well, outside of that, I think Ismail, did you have any updates? And Amin, did you have anything you wanted to add?
I think one last thing is just that I fixed the internal links that we talked about, I think Friday, which were not all internal links were working. The ones that some of them took you to the browser.
Hmm.
Um, so I fixed that. It's I when we talked last time, I was still working on it. So I think fixed it. I tested it. It should be now. Like for example, if you send a link to a podcast, it won't open the web browser. It will take you to the podcast within the app.
Hmm. Nice. And yeah, especially with like our chat, like our group chat links for people going between chats. Cool.
Yeah.
Um, okay, so that's resolved. Okay, so yeah, I think the priority right now, I guess, before we break, is podcast player, and then build for that, and then I would say give it a test and see if we can submit to the store.
Yeah.
Yep, cool. Todd, do you have anything else you want to add?
Just make sure that we address some of the things that were put in development by John in the last few days
Hmm.
and myself. I posted one, I think just yesterday. I think it was
Hmm.
yesterday, 2 days ago, about previews playing or not playing in the entertainment movies and shows. When you tap the preview in the profile, it just shows a configuration error of some sort. It doesn't play the preview.
Mm.
Not sure.
Um,
Not sure if
yeah,
you guys
yeah.
saw that.
Has anybody, I mean, Ismail, have either of y'all been able to check that? I feel like that might be something like related to YouTube permissions. I just don't know if there's something that.
Um, Yeah, I saw that. And was this on the this was on build you said 15, right?
I noticed it on 14 yesterday or day before I upgraded to 15, and it happens in 15 as well.
I think 14 is also old architecture. Let me double check here. Um, like yeah, this could be related to YouTube permissions. Because I don't think we're using. I don't think we're using our video. 14 is new architecture actually. Um, so Jerry, that's your answer. 14 and 15. 14 is old. 15 is new.
Wait, 15 is new? I thought 15 just came out.
It came out, but it's the old architecture.
Wait, hold on. 15 is old, 14 is new. Is that right?
That's
I
right.
think you said it backwards. Okay.
Oh,
Got it.
yeah, no, the 14 is the new architecture, 15 is the old architecture. Yeah.
Got it. Okay. Got it. Yeah, I'll try and work on those videos.
So, that being said, yeah, I'll double check that code, Todd, but I think we opened like a web view, did we? Or let me see how we did this. But yeah, it's either YouTube permissions or I know in the well, this is the new architecture. It's different. In the old one, there was a problem with the video player. It's actually happening now again. Video player configuration error. Okay, so yeah, I'll look into that, Todd. I think it's not YouTube. I think it's us.
Okay, no worries.
Yeah, I'll put that on my list. I'll make sure to have it working in the new build because like I'm in the old architecture. It's also doing it.
Right.
Um, let me see one more movie. Let's see here. Yeah, it's not working on any of them, so I think it's us.
Yeah. Okay.
Or
Okay.
maybe YouTube changed something, cause like, yeah. Anyways, I'll double check. I'll keep you guys updated.
Okay. Sounds good.
Cool. Anything else we should look at before we break, Todd?
Just real quick, John looks like a few days ago, maybe even on Christmas Eve or prior to, he sent something in development, and he listed a
Mhm.
few things that he was experiencing. Not sure if any of you were able to look at it and make some sense of it. Might be harder with him not on the call, but he did leave some pretty detailed notes. So if anyone is able to look at those and
From
make
the
some sense of it,
23rd,
yeah, that's right.
in the chat, a custom topic was created. I was typing a message. Things jumped around. My cursor bounced around. I reacted to a message. The emoji didn't appear until I left and came back. I entered a conversation, raised the keyboard, and messages scrolled down and tucked behind the keyboard. I entered a conversation, scrolled up, and conversation re-rendered, faded out back in.
Mhm.
Okay, I see. Yes, this is all in chat. So who would be more available and have time to look at that? These are all within chat, and I'm going to say that this would be in the latest version
I
that
think it's a new
happened.
architecture when he sent that when he was experiencing that behavior.
Yeah, I think so.
I
In
see.
13.
I
Because
see.
I remember going over it with him, and some of them it's not reproducible. Like for example, well, some of it I mean might have already addressed with fixing a few of the reanimation and the scrolling.
Mhm,
Um, and some of it, like the reactions, is not exactly reproducible.
mhm,
So we kind of have that in our in like the back of our head where if I somehow stumble over it, I was like, okay, let me try to backtrace what I did for this to happen.
mhm.
So I would kind of re retry those tests after we get a new build and see how it goes with the new
Okay,
architecture, not the old one.
sounds good.
Mhm. Okay, sweet. Cool. Anything else?
No, I think I'm good.
All right. Anybody else going once, going twice?
Is I think Danny joined.
Oh, hey, Danny.
Hey, how's it going, everyone?
Hey, what's up, Danny?
Hey, what's up? When I don't know how long have you been here? I know we were kind of getting towards the end of wrapping stuff up, but we could totally catch you up if you want.
I've been here a few minutes. Well, I think Todd can catch me up. Is there anything major that I would need to know about that's taken place over the last few days? I do have some builds that are pending still. I haven't released them. Well, I
Mhm.
released them, but they haven't gone through review yet.
Mhm. I think the closest thing that maybe is just top priority is getting that podcast player to not stop playing when you're bouncing between chats. Um, and Ismail is going to have that prioritized. And I would say once I think that would be build 16. And once build 16 would happen, that would be ideally a production build that possibly we might want to rush on, depending on how soon John wants to go live again. That's the only thing I can imagine that you might need to be aware of.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I saw people talking about that.
Mhm.
I think he wants to do. I think he wants to go live tomorrow if we can.
Right. So that's why I was kind of saying if we can get this build with a podcast fixed and then put a rush on it, I think then it'll be ready.
Okay. Well, appreciate that update.
Hmm. Yeah, I think Todd can catch you up with the rest. If I don't know if there's anything you wanted to relay to us.
Sounds good. I know that I'll probably need your help a little more, Jerry, in areas where Chantel used to be sufficient, like when it comes to running Facebook ads and posting and sending out emails and stuff to the audience when we kick off this campaign.
Mhm.
A lot of the time, Chantel would go in and like get the email draft set up and send the tests and stuff like that without having her around.
Mhm.
I need you for that, so I expect that to start really soon.
Yeah. Okay.
So I'll follow up with you
Well,
more on that.
yeah, for sure.
Cool.
Alrighty. All right. Going
All right.
once, going twice.
I
And
just want to, Dan, if you're free, just actually stand up for a few minutes.
Yeah. Sounds
okay.
good.
All right. Yeah, if that's it, I guess
All right.
we can all drop, I guess, except Ismail and Danny.
All right.
Cool.
Sounds good. Thanks a lot, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Yep. Thanks. All right. See ya.
Yep. Catch you later.
Yeah. Hey, Danny.
Hey, how's it going?
Yeah, I just wanted to say about the